This video was compiled using information which was made public via news or government agencies and is intended to honor the lives of those who met an unimaginable fate and also bring awareness to the unjust behaviors in our communities. On October 19, 2019, 25-year-old Nafes Monroe, his girlfriend, and another man drove to a location to allegedly purchase drugs. They also took 11-month-old Yaseem Munir Jenkins along with them. Monroe allegedly tried to use counterfeit money in the illegal transaction, and it supposedly was not the first time that he had done so. After discovering the money was fake, the drug dealer opened fire on the vehicle in the hunting park area, striking Yaseem 4 times, including in his head, neck, and buttocks. After realizing that the 11-month-old had been injured, Nafes, the child's father, drove him to a nearby house in the 4900 block of North Kamak Street. Later, he dropped the boy off at Einstein Medical Center and left. Yaseem was later transferred to St. Christopher's Hospital.
Exclusive video as 11-month-old Yaseem Jenkins is transported from St. Christopher's Hospital to CHOP Thursday night. His family said in a statement, "My son is fighting for his life and it's not fair. He's innocent and precious. How could anyone be so heartless?"
A family spokesperson released a statement to ABC on behalf of Yaseem's mother, Tiffany Jenkins, which read, "My son is fighting for his life and it is not fair. He's innocent, so precious, and his smile will brighten up anyone's day. He's such a bubbly kid, so loving and lovable. How could anyone be so heartless? Please do the right thing and help us find some form of closure or answers in this tragic situation. Help us find the shooter. I can't eat or sleep. I need justice for my baby. For the coward who did this to him, you will pay. Even if not today or tomorrow, God will handle you accordingly." Philadelphia police revealed that there was a connection between Yaseem's murder and the murder of 2-year-old Nicolette Rivera, which occurred 1 day after. According to a press release, 29-year-old Francisco Ortiz, the suspect in Yaseem's shooting, gave 25-year-old Tavon Thomas and 30-year-old Freddie Perez the assault rifle that was used in the fatal shooting of Nicolette when Thomas fired rounds into her family's Kensington home. Ortiz was charged with attempted murder in connection with Yaseem's case, and the other 2 suspects were charged and ultimately convicted for their role in Nicolette's murder.
Authorities say they have arrested Francisco Ortiz in the shooting of an 11-month-old baby boy in a car in Hunting Park on Saturday. Ortiz was taken into custody yesterday morning while he attended court on an unrelated charge.
On November 12, 2019, the district attorney's office announced that Nafes had been arrested 3 days earlier in connection to Yaseem's shooting. Monroe, who was previously taken into custody on a probation violation, was charged with recklessly endangering another person and endangering the welfare of a child. His bail was set at $150,000. Anthony Voci Jr., the chief of the Philadelphia District Attorney's Homicide Unit, shared that Monroe used his child as what they called a human shield in an effort to thwart off a potential upset drug dealer. They believed that he intentionally had his child with him when he was making such types of purchases, with the idea or belief that if someone saw that he had a child in the car, they would not fire upon him.
The father of the 11-month-old child is Nafes Monroe. He was in fact arrested. If you recall, he was wanted on a probation warrant, violation and warrant at the time that this incident took place. He also was the individual that was not only in the car with his child in harm's way, but drove the child to a house rather than taking him to a hospital immediately, then dropped his child off at the hospital and never looked back. and went into the wind, so to speak. He was arrested over the weekend, and he was charged with recklessly endangering another person, that being his own son, and endangering the welfare of a child, also being his own son, as a result of having his child in the car at the time that he was using counterfeit money to purchase drugs, knowing that counterfeit money is something that is very upsetting to drug dealers, and when they find out that they're being burned with counterfeit money, they act violently. And this was not the first instance of Mr. Monroe using counterfeit money, and in fact some was found in the car that his son was shot in.
As the then 1-year-old continued to fight for his life, medical personnel informed the family that even if Yaseem survived, he would be a quadriplegic. On November 4th, 2020, after pleading guilty to both counts as part of a plea deal, Nafes Monroe was sentenced to 11.5 to 23 months in prison and 8 years of supervised probation. He was given credit for time served and paroled immediately while being ordered to pay mandatory court costs of about $2,500. Additionally, he was not allowed unsupervised visits with his children. Almost 2.5 years later, on April 19, 2022, heartbreakingly after ongoing medical attention, Yaseem Jenkins passed away. The following day, a candlelight vigil was held on Wilton Street in his honor.
A vigil for 3-year-old Yaseem Jenkins in West Philadelphia tonight. Yaseem died yesterday after surviving a 2019 shooting.
Too many mothers, children are being ripped from their arms, and this needs to stop. This is a product of our environment.
The alleged shooter, Francisco Ortiz, is in jail awaiting multiple trials, including 2 unrelated cases, one for a gun charge and a domestic homicide case. Police say Yaseem was shot 4 times while strapped into his car seat when his father took him on a drug deal. 2-year-old Nicolette Rivera was shot and killed in Kensington the day after Yaseem. In a disturbing twist, Ortiz is believed to have supplied the AK-47 that killed Nicolette. Investigators said at the time the children's fathers were the intended targets.
Both of these cases are horrific demonstrations of how dangerous the drug trade is in the city of Philadelphia. Drugs and violence go hand in hand.
But Yaseem appeared to have fought through the worst of his injuries. His mom said that he was now sitting up, and he never lost his smile and spirit. Erica Ledwell spoke on behalf of his mother's family tonight.
His endless fight. How many adults you know went through what he went through and survived? He was the most happiest baby you ever met in your life. He was joy.
Nadira Jones, Yaseem's aunt, set up a GoFundMe to assist the family with funeral costs. The description of the fundraiser included that Yaseem had fought long and hard to recover from his injuries while being the strong, happy kid he was, but sadly lost the battle. It went on to say, "It saddens us to have to lay him to rest at such a young age. Our family is devastated and heartbroken by his unexpected passing. Please consider donating. The link is in the description below." Yaseem's funeral was scheduled for April 30th, 2022, and an outpouring of support for the family was shown across social media. The accused shooter, now almost 32 years old, Francisco Ortiz, was previously charged with attempted murder, aggravated assault, and several other related offenses in connection with Yaseem and Nicolette's murders. Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner said that his office was prepared for separate trials for Ortiz, and if Yaseem's death is deemed a result of his injuries sustained in the shooting, additional charges, including murder, could be filed. A review of Ortiz's criminal history showed previous firearm convictions, including when he pleaded guilty to 2 firearm charges in July 2009 and was sentenced to a minimum of 1.5 years and a maximum of 7 years. According to court documents, As of the recording of this video, the almost 32-year-old is awaiting a trial scheduled for June 2022 and has pled not guilty to the charges. May the family and friends of Yaseem Jenkins find solace in the happy memories, and may his soul rest in perpetual peace. Thank you.